An elite group of bank robbers is matched against a special division in the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. After suffering a few casualties after their last encounter, the cops have decided to move forward aggressively with the apprehension of these criminals who seem to be one step ahead of them time and time again. The bank robbers are actually planning one last big heist that, if successful, had the potential to go unnoticed. Does Den of Thieves deliver on a heist film with plenty of action, or is this film a 187, dead on arrival? Let's dive in and take a look in this review. The overall story doesn't really expect much from us as viewers, which is what I expected when I walked into the theater. It appeared to be a fun heist meets action flick that would have lots of explosions, clever planning, car chases, and lots of gunfire. In this, it did not disappoint. In all honesty, this film actually felt like a combination of a few different films. I could definitely see this movie pulling some influences from films like Heat, Ocean's 11, American Gangster, and The Usual Suspects. This mishmash of stories was actually both a positive and a negative for me. Overall, the positives outweighed the negatives for me in this film because when I walked in, I had a certain expectation for what the film would deliver on, and it met the expectation. And then it gave me just a little bit more. O'Shea Jackson Jr. has now delivered 2 performances in 2 different films that I've seen and reviewed that have both surprised me in a very positive way. I'm beginning to actually see the potential and the talent that this young actor has, which makes me excited to see him kind of expand his role in future films so that we can get even more of these high caliber performances that we're now starting to see are possible from him as an actor. Gerald Butler also delivers a great performance as a burnout, but still in charge of things, and he's a man of action who can get things done despite what might be happening in his personal life. Speaking of his personal life, there's a few scenes in this film that deal with that topic, and I feel like those can be completely removed from the entire film to help make it more focused and more concise, which it did actually need. And I say this because the moments that we see him dealing with his family, how his wife is leaving him and taking the kids, none of this impacts his job. None of this impacts what he has to do to stop these bank robbers. It's kind of superfluous. It's just there. We're kind of getting an idea of who he is, but again, it doesn't do anything for the plot of the film, and we don't necessarily need to see it because it doesn't impact the way he does his job. So we can completely remove all of those scenes and all of the encounters he has with his family, and we can actually shorten this film up and tighten it down a little bit, which I think would have benefited it in the long run. And I say that because another issue I had deals specifically with how long this film feels. It feels way longer than it needed to be. And again, if we just remove all of those scenes with his family, we can really tighten up this film, and that way it's kind of more on a linear projection of storytelling, and it really just gets to the point, which is the heist, and how are the bad guys going to escape the good guys, or how are the good guys going to catch the bad guys in a heist action flick? So in short, consistency is a problem when it comes to how the story was told in this particular film. I feel like director Christian Gudegast actually had more story in his mind that he wanted to tell. He just wasn't possibly necessarily sure how to stick the landing. And I say that because by the end of the film, we realize there's so much more to this story than we've possibly been led to believe. We can really see that there was a lot of thought put into this film, but again, didn't stick the landing. Den of Thieves is playing at your local movie theater right now, and I'm actually going to recommend a big screen viewing for this film if you see it before noon for cheaper matinee prices. So while this film did have some story issues in regards to keeping things tight and concise, and while it did feel longer than it needed to be, there's some really great action scenes in this. And again, by the end of the film, we find out that there was a lot of thought put into this film. Some people may say that this film is predictable. Other people may be completely surprised. I'm going to recommend that you guys get out to your local movie theater, see this movie for yourselves, and you determine on whether or not you found it predictable now that you have watched my review. Because by the end of the film, I guarantee that you'll be asking who really are the good guys and who really are the bad guys. Because as the title suggests, this movie is dealing with a den of thieves. And in closing, because of some of the weird story issues that happen and because it feels longer than it needs to be, while there's a lot of good acting in this film and some great action sequences, it's not going to get any high fives from this guy. Den of Thieves is playing at your local movie theater right now. Check it out. Hi, I'm Jeremy Brunansky, and you've just finished watching a movie review on Brunansky's Vlog. Along with the movie reviews and the weekly show, we also do the Certified Rad segments and the movie news breakdown, which you may want to check out. All right, everybody, we'll see you next Monday for a brand new episode of Brunansky's Vlog, Monday morning, 10 a.m. PST. See you there. Have a great week.